Good source of nutrition, though. And you'll find that setting fire to it will provide you with a reasonable amount of charcoal in your system, which is always good for digestion.
How do you know that? How did you learn that?
I surmised it
So
using...
not medical school.
No, that was GCSE, GCSE homework.
Hello and welcome to The Fifth Cheese with myself and a lesser guest, as always. Today we have Tomski, comedian, medical doctor, a lot of claims flying around. He's got a stethoscope. He's smoking, even though he knows it's bad, as a medical doctor. I'm
an old school doctor of life, I suppose, is probably the best description for it.
A mister, shall we say. So we kick off, as always, with the first question, and that is why?
Perplexing. I would surmise where or even what. Potentially when.
The Canary Islands are named after dogs, not birds. The original Latin phrase derives from Latin, and it means island of dogs. Does that surprise you?
It does surprise me quite a bit, although some dogs can look like birds if you glue enough. I had a friend who used to do taxidermy, and he would jazz up a lot of his dogs with feathers.
People who are currently alive represent only 7% of the total number of people who have ever lived. Is that something you're proud of?
That seems disproportionate.
Yeah.
Insanely disproportionate.
Do you think the universe has an obligation to make sense to you?
I don't think the universe has an obligation to make sense to itself.
Very good. Very deep.
Yeah. I think prior to the Big Bang, really, that's the only obligation that the universe owes itself is that it once didn't exist and now it exists, so to say. I think the existence of nothing in its own right would be compounded by the fact that we wouldn't know, would we? Interesting fact, bobsledding actually originated from the cooling units of the first nuclear power plants that were ever invented. In order to escape the radiation, a lot of the operatives of those power plants would need to utilize a fast escape method, and they were always stocked with four-man teams to ensure that the reactors didn't reach the levels of heat that would cause a nuclear meltdown. And in order to escape the field of the blast, a bobsled was the most efficient means to traverse that particular distance.
Here's a quote: "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." And that's by Walt Disney. But of course, sometimes our dreams are nightmares. Like once I dreamt I had a nightmare, but it was only a dream of a nightmare. When I've had a nightmare, usually it turns out to be only a dream.
The dreams are interesting. I had a patient the other day who talked to me about a nightmare that he had where his mother-in-law was represented by a crow picking at his nostrils, which I thought was quite interesting. It made me asking questions about whether it not directly, like it basically flew onto his chest and pecked upwards. But the interesting thing was that the face of the crow didn't have the face of the mother-in-law. He just knew the crow was the mother-in-law in that scenario.
Right. The perfect metaphor for him.
Yeah.
And for many people. Have you seen him again, or?
I see him regularly. I dabble. I dabble a little bit in psychoanalyzing
Yeah.
dreams. Or,
Yeah.
for example, if you was to dream about a 24-carat gold watch, for example, that would be representative of your own subconscious ability to envisage your retirement.
Right. Yeah.
And also, if you was to envisage a polo mint on fire, that
Right.
would represent the cold, numbing sensation that one feels when they go to a stationery closet to find there's no staples left.
Right. I have got a bit of carpal tunnel, so I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
At a personal level. Where are these? Where have you learnt these kinds of things? Is this a book? Series of podcasts? A YouTube video?
You could read books, you could watch YouTube videos. I went to a mind expanding trip to the Amazon where I actually foresaw a lot of these necessary portions of knowledge as part
Right.
of a fever dream within a recognized hallucinogenic state.
Was that were you temporarily employed by the Amazon warehouse, or was that like a more permanent contract?
It was Steve Bezos personally emailed myself after he'd heard my field research into the arena of psychoschematic bionics.
Steve Bezos.
He calls himself Stevie. He's a big fan of Stevie Nicks.
Right. Right. You're not right. The Amazon guy, Stevie Bezos.
Yeah, Stevie Bezos.
Yeah. Where did you meet Stevie Bezos?
He was an old flapper girl originally in one of the many clubs that I frequented as a youth.
What year was that?
1982. It was a very outdated club.
In 1909, Key West painter and author Robert Eugene Otto claimed that one of his family's servants placed a voodoo curse on his childhood toy, Robert the Doll. Is that true?
Without the ability to examine the doll and see, obviously, how the doll would react to me presenting a Rorschach, I wouldn't be able to predetermine whether or not there was a potential method of possession there. I would say the exercise in exercising a doll in its own right would be made redundant by the fact that you have to establish that a certain spirit presence is available to that doll.
Can you give us a percentage though? Just as a
73.9.
Okay, very specific. Very specific. You're good. You're good. So we've got some got a book here. Fun facts. Fun facts. I'm going to spit a few of these at you, but in a COVID secure way through the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not a transmitter as yet. Wi-Fi. 5G, obviously a definite, but not Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Okay. Are you running out of what do you put in that pipe? Is it drugs?
No, nothing like that. Although I'm going to be taking a break shortly to throw in my own supplements.
We need a break. I'm feeling I need a break from this. So I'm just going to throw some quick fire things at you.
General roughage. General roughage is what I've put into this pipe. Food waste.
Like the DeLorean.
Yes, very much like that.
Things mistaken for guns this year included a banana, a sex toy, and a didgeridoo.
I'm not surprised. Wrap any of them in aluminum foil, and you've got a recipe for disaster.
Canadian police were called out following a report of a man waving a firearm, only to find someone waving a broom at squirrels in his garden. Why were you doing that?
Squirrels try and take my roughage.
What kind of squirrels? Red, grey?
Greys. They will do that. Reds have a little bit more of a sympathy towards the stockpiling of roughage and a little bit more respect for bird feeders as well.
Should we break? That's a good break.
I have a supplement here which I have created myself, and I'm going to take this supplement. Pop it in there. Here we go.
Looks like a Mentos. I don't know his address, so I can't really ring the police for an ambulance or something. I think your Wi-Fi is breaking up. I don't know if you need to just restart your modem.
Are you there, Damon?
That is better. That is better. Okay, so Count Orlok only blinks once in Nosferatu. Is dry eyes a problem for you?
Dry eyes? There wasn't a dry eye in the entire auditorium.
Oh, what's going on there? I'll be honest. I'm a little scared. A little scared by what's going on. Definitely, if you're on the old Spotify with this, you want to get on the visuals because it is creepy. It is creepy. So I've got a few questions. Are you okay to answer some more questions?
Fire away.
Okay. Who are you?
A preconceived notion of godlessness.
I'll call you Ian. That's all right. Okay, so
Ian.
Cheers, mate. Have you ever experienced any voodoo dolls, any creepy dolls, any strange dolls?
Most dolls' actions can be explained through the works of poltergeist. Interesting fact. Poltergeist is German for Rumberghost.
I'll just check on that.
That's true.
Poltergeist. What are you claiming?
The German for polter means rumble.
Okay. But it's just fact
The
check
geist
this.
means ghost, and so they rumble.
No, it says noisy ghost here, or noisy spirit.
Fucking Google.
What you're doing there with it.
Have I got food in my mouth?
By all means, tuck into to a steak bait while I read this question.
You're a nice person, aren't you?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I probably won't stay in contact with you after this, but you'll be in my thoughts, my nightmares.
Would you like to buy some insurance?
What kind of insurance?
Fire, first party theft, you name it, I've got it.
Can you do car insurance?
What kind of car?
So Renault Clio, what, 2003? Grey.
£520 fully comp.
That's a little expensive. I mean, does that include like breakdown cover or, hire car?
Crash it as many times as you want.
Right, but will I get a hire car?
Yeah. It's a 16-wheel big rig.
Right. Replacement key?
Just fully standardized.
How far, when I break down, how far is the pickup from my house? Is it like, because sometimes there's a limit on the radius. If I'm close to my house, then they won't come out.
We'll slingshot you around the moon.
What about if the car is red? Will that affect the price?
Has he got go faster stripes?
Yeah, really big stripes. They really big red stripes. About the width and height of the car.
We'll give you special discount if you'll advertise some companies for us.
What companies?
B&M Bargains.
B&M Bargains.
Yes, and Quick Face.
I mean, am I eligible for any kind of discount in the discount warehouse that is B&M Bargains?
Yes.
What,
5% on any sauces.
What about, so I went through Compare the Market last time, so I do get the Meerkat movies. Have you got a scheme like that, or?
Sure, yeah.
What's it called?
Cineworld tickets, unlimited the whole year. You can watch any film with Adam Sandler in for the fraction of the price of a cinema ticket.
Okay.
But you have to watch it outside in the alleyway.
Hasn't he? Isn't he contracted to Netflix for the next 4 or 5 films?
We get him doing little films on the side. His latest film, The Psychosomatic Mind of a Madman, is available at any good Cineworld back alley cinema of your choice.
Who's in that one?
Gwyneth Paltrow, Candle.
Her candle, one of her candles.
Just the candle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Robert Lindsay.
Yeah, Robert Lindsay, great actor.
We like him, and Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan is yeah. Who does he play in that film? Crocodile Dundee or someone else?
Giraffe man.
Giraffe Dundee. Is Adam Sandler in this one?
Yes. Who
does he play? Is it Adam Sandler?
He plays man on bench 3.
Right. It doesn't seem to be in the film a lot, to be honest.
It's a very respectable role as man on bench 3.
Right. How many lines does he got?
He has 4 lines of dialogue and 2 lines of cocaine. It's your show.
It is my show. Here's one for you. The French have no word for shrug. So
the freedom of movement is most interestingly appropriated to ants.
What about Dex? What do you do? Like, what is your job?
Day to day, I collect pens from various woodland creatures. Once they've used to fill out forms, they need me to then take them away and dispose of them in the correct way.
Right. What forms are they filling in? Like statutory sick pay?
P45s.
P45s. Right. They've gone. Yeah. No. Straight to the job centre.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
one. That's the one.
So, talk me through the decor. What's going on? I see. I've got.
Check this out. This here is this is Catface. Catface. He's my very special friend.
Right. Yeah. It feels like maybe your only friend, but okay. He's got no eye. There's no actual eyes there. He doesn't seem to be able to see.
It's Sophia's glory.
Are you right? Okay. Are you sure they're not? He's just not got cataracts.
Well, he's a cat.
Cataracts. That's a great joke.
It is very good.
Thank you. Is that all your material on that painting? Yeah. Okay.
If you sign up to my insurance, you'll get this free carriage clock.
Right. It doesn't seem to be working. Is what I will say.
It is.
It's 7:54.
You can spin it, and it works.
Right. Anything else you could talk about?
If you want to measure the scale of anything in the world, you can use a clipper lighter. They actually work quite well. It's a universal measurement of everything. For example,
What? Yeah.
This ashtray is half a clipper high. My finger is approximately 1 clipper long.
Okay.
My mustache is approximately it's about 1.5 clippers long.
Right. What happens when it's below half of a clipper? Is there a deeper measurement, a smaller, like a micro? You know, like there's meters and centimeters and millimeters.
I have no way of measuring such small things. I don't think anybody has.
No one's ever measured anything smaller than half of a clipper.
Science hasn't caught up with it yet.
No, not your science. Not your science. So you've got a lot of lights, different colour lights, yellows, greens, some reds, some yellows. I'm going to say maybe the most colourful light we've ever had on the 5th Gs. How's your electricity bill? Is it steep?
It's approximately 4.5 clippers long.
Talk us through the notice board. Is that part of the set design, or is that just something in the room?
Okay. So this is a map of a place that I live in, that we live in. It's Great Britain.
When you say we, do you mean me and you, or do you mean the people that you've got trapped there?
The whole world. We all live in Great Britain, don't we?
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Okay.
If it gets us to the next bit of material, I'll go with that.
And the edge of the world is Cornwall, which is the South Pole, and then the north of the world is the Shetland Islands. And in the Shetland Islands, that's where you'll find polar bears. And in the Cornwall, in Truro, they have a significant amount of penguins.
Well, that's interesting because we are seeing a decrease because the ice caps are melting. We're seeing a decrease in polar bears. And the last time I was in the Shetland Isles, I didn't see any. So I think the situation is pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I like your T-shirt.
What's your favourite horror film?
Oh, that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's very easy. My favourite horror movie is Sleepless in Seattle.
Talk us through the plot as you remember it.
Okay, well, Meg Ryan plays a bag lady, and she casts a spell on Tom Hanks, and he never sleeps again. And because he can't dream, he can't process reality into digestible format for his brain to understand. And upon realization that he will never sleep again, it sends him crazy. So then he firebombs a cardboard box full of puppies.
Are you thinking of You've Got Mail? I think that's You've Got Mail.
Oh, it might be. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yes.
The plots are so similar.
Me.
It's just there's just a minor difference there.
Foolish me. Oh.
Anything else you want to talk about in the, I'm going to say shrine behind you?
There's a badge.
Okay.
I got a badge.
Yeah.
I bought it from a shop. It was made by somebody, I believe a child in a Sunday school class. And it says, I don't know if you can read it, but it says, I believe in hell and heavy.
Are you okay? You seem to be a bit emotional.
All right.
So we end, as always, with the last question, and that is, what was the 5th cheese of my 5-cheese pizza? I once had a 5-cheese pizza. I remember 4 of the cheeses. So what's the 5th mouldy cheese and why?
Gorgonzola.
Oh, you've gone dark. Oh, you're back. Why Gorgonzola? Why that?
Because I believe that underneath your sandwich was a layer of steak.
Okay, I mean, it was a pizza, but
no, it wasn't. Theory. It was a steak with red sauce on it and lots of cheese, and you mistook it for a pizza in your mild foolishness. And really, it was just a steak slathered with cheese. And Gorgonzola's a good cheese for a steak, so I would assume, by power of deduction, that would be the 5th cheese. Am I not wrong?
Are you sure you're not thinking about maybe a sandwich you might have eaten in the past? Like a memory that you have? Now, have you got green makeup on, or is that just a light?
Side effects from my supplement. Can I say hello to my friend Tapioca Daniel? Tapioca Daniel, if you're out there, please come home. Please come home, Tapioca Daniel. You're always welcome.
Do write in, Tapioca Daniel, if you're out there. We're all about reconnecting people on the 5th cheese. And I hope things work out. Who is Tapioca Daniel to you, by the way, Ian?
His lost nephew.
Lost nephew. Oh, makes sense. That he's lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say lost, what do you mean by that?
He was lost in a war hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
Hastings.
Right. We lost a lot of lives in that war.
We did. But there was a good insurance company was able to capitalize on the marketing after that one. So hey, we're all up.
Was that a callback?
I do believe it might have been.
Anything to plug before we leave us? We leave. I leave. A relief, I would say, for me.
Well, I'll be honest with you. There's not much going on in my life at the moment.
I can see that.
But I don't know. Rockcentral.co.uk. There's lots of comedy gigs there. That's what we do. That's how we power forward. Just check that out. You'll see what gigs we're doing. Your souls be damned. The lot of you will arrive in the pits of misery and fury before the end is done. Good day, sir. Good day.
So Rock Central on Facebook, is it? Yeah.
Yes.